Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 199. Welcome, everybody, to episode 199. It is a great day. Tesla 1010, the day we've been waiting for. I see we have a full group of speakers already. Thank you very much. The speaker board DM group is lively today. People are messaging left and right. They were ready to go about an hour ago, which is amazing. I love this energy of the speaker board. Uzi, how you doing?
I'm doing well. There's a lot I can rant about, but I wanted to share.
All
Did
right.
you see the
Yeah.
commercial about with DoorDash?
No, we haven't yet. We're going to talk about it. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, I do expect today to be a bit more chill, more fun, rather than fast paced. Let's relax a little bit. I am ready to relax a little bit. Um, I see we have 30 likes already on YouTube. It is very important to get that like count up early on in the episode because it really helps concurrent viewers and average viewers throughout the episode, which is very material to advertisers. So if you could please, if you're in the X space, if you could please take a moment to go up to the top of your screens and hit that like button on the YouTube channel, I would very much appreciate it. And people are letting me know what number of like they are in the YouTube live chat. YouTube live chat is also very active right now. I love it. Drew Soul says we need 10 likes today, 1,010 likes today. I hope so. That is our goal. I see Tayo letting me know that he's the 30th and Sausage is the 37th. Oh, two people claim 37th. Somebody's wrong. Either Sausage or Robert Pinto. Let's see how many likes we got here. We have 59 likes already in the first 3 minutes. This is record pace. Let's go, everybody. All right. Uzi, tell us about the DoorDash.
Oh yeah, well, a fan made the DoorDash commercial, and it's really really good. So it passes the sniff test. Jim Cramer just posted about it, saying DoorDash and Tesla are a match made in heaven. So it seems like some people on the street are taking it seriously, and DoorDash, um, the stock blew up after this and then crashed back down. I think once people started realizing.
Yeah, this is a day of speculation and excitement and hype. There's no question about it. There's going to be a lot of brands trying to tag on to Tesla's announcement. But that's why you come to Tesla Live, for the facts and the figures and the actual data. And we are also excited, but we don't have any unreasonable expectations from today. We've been discussing this event for 6 months or so. And Jeffrey Jones, thank you very much for the $10 tribute in support of Tesla's 1010 event. And he says he liked it as well. Jeffrey Jones, thank you very much for the super chat in YouTube. Uzi is the 98. We already reached 100 likes 5 minutes into it. This is incredible. We are on pace to get to 1,000 likes for the first time in Tesla Live history. So please, everybody, go up to the top of our screens. Let's make history together. Click into the YouTube link. Oh, wow. Drew also tipped $10.10, which is amazing. Thank you very much. This is incredible. Omar, welcome. How are you?
Hey,
Omar
doing
is
great.
good. You are live in LA, right?
Yeah, I'm here. Everybody else is here. Sawyer's sleeping in my guest house right now. And we got a full house here.
Wake him up. Wake him up. Bring him to Tesla Live. Come on. This is no time to sleep.
No, he said he's been up for 36 hours and he wanted to sleep in. So we got a big day ahead of us. He needs to sleep, get his tweeting thumbs ready.
We'll let him sleep for a little bit. Maybe we'll wake him up all together at once in about half hour. Let's see. Drew says gifted 10. Oh my gosh. Drew just gifted 10 Valley Analyst memberships. Who did you gift it to? How does that even work? I've never seen that before. All right. Let's go to, I want everyone talking except for Machine, because Machine is going to tell everybody to not like the video. And he's going to tell everybody that he is unhappy that this is just a hype and nothing's going to come out of today. So everybody keep talking. Alexander, let's go with you.
Hello, I just joined, so I didn't hear the first part.
That's all right. TSLA, what's on your mind?
Hey, Yaman. Hey, everyone. Two things. wanted to say about that commercial. That's the same guy that the DoorDash commercial. He's the same one that made the really good commercial about Tesla FSD, where the woman was saying, "Oh, I have somebody picking me up," and it was an autonomous car. It was a really good commercial. So he's really good at it. So, but I don't think it's real yet. And second
Thank you,
thing is,
TSLA.
I
Yeah.
was number 2 in smashing that like button.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, we already had a dozen people liking the video before the video started, and the super chats are raining in. They're coming in fast and furious. Tayo tipped $10. Colin Flex tipped $10. Jake McCombs tipped 14 Canadian dollars. And Coach is 125th like. Brandon says he was number 3. Who was number 1st? You know what? It probably was Michelle, but I don't know. 131 likes and counting. This is incredible. Trevor, anybody but machine. Trevor, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to give you an update on the when someone does a gifted membership on YouTube. Basically, anybody watching on your live stream can get a random chance to get that gifted membership. So that's kind of how that works.
That is awesome. Drew, thank you very much for gifting 10 memberships to our YouTube channel. That is really, really awesome. Uzi.
Yeah, tonight that might be helpful. Do you want to explain what's going to go on?
Yeah, tonight we have a watch party. Thank you very much, Uzi. We have a watch party that is going to start 2 hours before the main event. So the main event is at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the YouTube channel. To be a part of it, go to the top of our screens and subscribe to the channel. This is free to do. Subscribe to the channel and you can watch the watch party with all of us. Today's the day we've all been waiting for. We robots. We're going to have our regular speakers all there live, ready to react, debate, and dive into Tesla's biggest announcements in real time. It'll be an interactive experience with all of us discussing the highs, lows, and surprises in YouTube live chat. Everybody is free to join. You just have to subscribe to the channel. And we're going to have our speakers on as the speaker. So whoever wanted to be part of it, I think Alexander is going to be there, Dallas is going to be there, Uzi is going to be there, TSLA is going to be there, Hustletown is going to be there. And, people can turn on their cameras if they want to. And, oh, wow, Drew Soul just gifted another 10 memberships. So this is 20 memberships to the channel. This is incredible. So, Trevor, what do people need to do to play a part in that? To grab one of those memberships, Trevor.
Are you talking about just for YouTube?
Yeah, can you say what you said again?
Yeah, so basically, when someone gifts a membership, anybody watching in the live stream has a random chance to get one of those memberships. It is not confirmed, but many have theorized that if you're more engaged in the conversation, like leaving comments and stuff, then you have a better chance of getting that membership. So,
all right, that's awesome. So if you want be a part of the YouTube membership, Drew gifted 20 memberships. It's going to go out randomly to those who are most engaged. So like the video, leave a comment in live chat, leave a comment below the video, share the video with others. And right now we're at 100 concurrent viewers and 200 likes already in the first 8 minutes. This is going to be a record day for Tesla Live. Thank you very much for those of you who are making it happen. Alexander, go ahead.
Yeah, you don't want to miss tonight's event, okay? Sierra is going to sing for us. She promised that yesterday. And she actually DM'd me a song she wrote about machine. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay, so here's a snippet of the chorus, right? He's machine, always so clean. Never wet his bed, not once in between. From childhood to now, he kept it all right. Still waking up dry every single night. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. That is amazing. I cannot wait to hear Sierra sing that for us tonight at the watch party. Machine, do you wake up dry?
Well, I wake up in a sweat and scare of thinking about coming on this space every day and listening to the nonsense that goes on here. This is a very serious day. There's no room for joking. And the fact that Alexander tried to pretend to be someone else, we know that Sierra did not make that song. We know she wrote a love song about me, and you just haven't admitted it yet.
Yeah. I don't know if she's here right now. I hope if she's here, she's welcome to come up to request to speak. Machine, there's a comment in the live chat says, just for fun, says, I'm engaged to Machine's mom. And then Tayo says, man, I can't find the comment. The comments are raining in. Biggest tipper gets 1 hour with Machine's mom. All right. On that note, let's go to Hardik. Hardik?
Yeah, so very exciting days. I think a lot of people have been waiting for over 5 years for autonomy to come to life. So everyone's pumped. I'm excited. I think it's glad to be hosting this episode here today. And what do you guys think? Well, let's bring in the speculations. What's everyone's mind saying? What's going to be
We'll get
revealed today?
there. We'll get there.
All right. Okay.
All right. Hey, Machine, are we ever going to get your mom in this space as a speaker?
I put the odds on that at exactly 0.
Really?
As much as you hope.
I'm
There'd
sure
be no
someone
way.
can make it happen, I think. Anyway, my mom was always here, just FYI. She's in listening mode, so. All right, let's go to, hey, Omar. How are you doing over there? How is the atmosphere in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I mean, people are really excited. There's a lot of energy in the air. And from what we've heard from people in Tesla, this isn't just going to be some ordinary Tesla event. This is one that they want to make sure everybody sees. So they've got a countdown right now on Tesla.com. Over all their products, there's a countdown for this event. They're hosting watch parties in their stores. I think they've got something pretty exciting to share with us tonight.
Tesla is going all out for this event. It's going to be awesome. All the Optimus engineers are on X, hyping it up. They must have something really cool to show us. I don't know how material it's going to be in the near term to the stock price. Who knows, right? We don't really speculate about these things. But at the end of the day, Optimus is very material to the world and Tesla for the next 5, 10, 20 years. And Elon tweeted out and said, all transportation will be fully autonomous within 50 years. All transportation will be fully autonomous within 50 years. So they're going all out for this event. I'm really excited for it. I think a lot of people are. I'm going to go to Omar in a second to get us more maybe color about the Los Angeles setup, about the timing of these events, and the logistical advice. But before that, we're going to take a 30-second break for our sponsors. I'm going to read these sponsor ads. And in the meantime, I would really appreciate it if people could go up to the top of your screens and hit that like button. We are going for a record. We are 200 likes in 10 minutes. So we have a shot at achieving our 1,000 likes today, and maybe we can get 10 likes for today. So 30 seconds for our sponsors. Tesla Live is proudly sponsored by Paymore, your trusted destination for buying, selling, trading, and recycling electronics. Looking to upgrade your tech? Want to turn your old devices into cash? With over 100 stores nationwide, Paymore makes it easy and secure. They believe that the best technology doesn't have to come at the cost of our planet or your wallet. At Paymore, you can buy the latest gadgets at great prices, sell or trade your used electronics for cash or store credit, recycle old or broken devices responsibly, helping to reduce e-waste. Join the Paymore revolution today. Visit one of their stores near you or check them out online at paymore.com. Thank you, Paymore, for supporting Tesla Live and for making technology accessible and sustainable for Machine's mom. Tesla Live is proudly sponsored by Joa, your go-to source for premium Tesla accessories. Are you looking to elevate your driving experience? Look no further than Joa. They offer a wide range of high-quality accessories designed specifically for Tesla owners who demand the best. At Joa, you'll find innovative charging solutions, stylish interior upgrades, protective gear, cutting-edge tech add-ons. And here's an exclusive offer for Tesla Live listeners. Use the promo code TSLA Live at checkout to receive a special discount on your next purchase. Thank you, Joa, for supporting Tesla Live and Tesla community. And thank you, Real Zertig, for gifting another 20 value analyst memberships. And also William Ellingsworth, $10, is a Patreon subscriber as well. He says, can't wait tonight. So we have 40 value analyst memberships on the YouTube channel for those who are most engaged. It's going to go out randomly, going to be assigned randomly to those who are likely to those who are most engaged. So like, subscribe, share the video. The link is at the top of our screens. All right. Omar, can you give us a bit more color about the logistics of the event, when it's going to start? Who have you met so far from the influencers, and what do you think is going to be the highlight of the event?
Well, so, everyone got to Los Angeles yesterday. A huge drone show was seen over Burbank, showing the We Robot logo, Optimus, Tesla, all kinds of stuff, 1010 written in the sky in drones. So I think they're going to have a great show for us tonight. Yesterday, we went to dinner with Gary Black and Rob Maurer and Chuck Cook and Sawyer and his fiance. And then we went to this taco truck. Everyone was at this taco truck. And someone called a Waymo to pick them up from the Tesla taco truck meetup. There were a ton of Cybertrucks there, and it got stuck for 10 minutes. And that was kind of embarrassing. Then I called another Waymo for my friends, and it also got stuck for 10 minutes. It was their first Waymo ride. So that was kind of entertaining. But the doors open at 7 o'clock tonight. The doors open at 5. The event starts at 7 o'clock. The parking lot opens at 3. So I'm probably going to head over there pretty early, try and get in as soon as I can. They usually have some cool stuff around the event. But it sounds like we are going to see some rides in unsupervised FSD. So that's going to be super exciting. But, just reading the commentary, people are such idiots, right? They do not understand this company at all. Hopefully they can try and drive the message home about what they're doing better tonight at the event. But I already know that people are not going to understand what they're talking about. They're going to have all kinds of stupid reactions. But none of that really matters to me. Today's price action doesn't really matter to me. What matters is just that we're going to see the first vehicle designed ground up to be a driverless car without any controls. A first principles approach designed by the Tesla team. And that's exciting, right? People say, well, we need to get a timeline on RoboTaxi, or, it doesn't matter. It's not material. I mean, what does it matter? Every year this guy says, well, I think we can solve it this year. Earlier this year, he said, yeah, probably by the end of the year. So, I think the timeline is really the least important part. They'll probably throw out some dates, but at the end of the day, I think what really matters is what they execute, what they actually put out into the world. And they've put out way more than anybody else.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Omar, for that overview. I want to say, I need to say this slowly so my mom can understand. Robert Lopinto just tipped $20.20, and he says 1010 for Yaman and 1010 for his amazing mom for raising such a fine man. All right. Maybe my mom heard that. All right. And we have Sierra on the board. Sierra, earlier Alexander read us a lyrics of a song that you wrote about machine that you're going to sing for us tonight. Are you ready for tonight's watch party?
I was not here for that. Yeah, I'm stoked for the watch party. But if you remember, I said I'll sing if we make a weird parlay bet and it comes true. So Alexander is going to have to call something that is going to happen, something very specific that we're going to see at the event, and then you will get a song out of me, because otherwise I don't put recorded music on the internet usually, but I will for you guys for 10/10. But it's got to be an interesting bet, Alexander.
All right, that's awesome. So we have, like I said, so Omar says 7 p.m. Pacific is when the event starts, and doors open 2 hours before that in LA. And at the same time, we're going to start the watch party on YouTube 2 hours before the event. So that would be 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And a lot of the speakers on the board right now are going to be there as speakers, and everybody else will be in live chat, and speakers will be engaged in live chat as well. Sierra is going to be there, Uzi is going to be there, Alexander is going to be there, Hustleton is going to be there, Dallas is going to be there, TSLA is going to be there, and TSLA is an Uber driver who's been doing this for years. So his commentary is essential during tonight's event. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an awesome time. Uzi, go ahead.
I just first want to say that the live chat in YouTube is crazy. It's really entertaining. I'm forgetting. Oh, someone asked in the live chat, should they sub to the Patreon or to the YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, all of the above helps. I'm trying to build Tesla Live on all platforms, and they all have kind of unique aspects. Like, for example, patrons get daily summaries, which I think valuable. So if you miss this space, you can just read the summary that goes straight into your email box. And Drew, thank you very much again for tipping $20. He's the highest tipper so far, looking to cash in on Machine's mom. And Machine's mom says in live chat, Uzi, sure. LFG, bring your money $10. He also says, I'm taking a Wamo to meet Omar tonight around 10. This is great. Kwai, welcome with your amazing pictures. What do you got for us today?
Well, you triggered me, Yaman, on what Elon said this morning, and I wanted to ask Omar what he thought about the companies that have already licensed to do FSD concerning everybody in 35 years being on it.
I'm not sure I understood the question.
How many more companies do you think are going to do it, or are they all going to be bankrupt, or is it just us?
Omar,
for
can you
FSD?
comment on Elon's comment that all transportation will be fully autonomous in 50 years? And do you think other companies will play a part in that too, or do you think Tesla will lead the charge here?
I mean, it's really hard for people to understand. Just even yesterday, when I was at this dinner with Gary Black, people just don't believe that autonomy greater than human safety can be achieved. Even with everything we've seen, even with real driverless services on the road crashing less than humans already, even with the rate of improvement we've seen in FSD, they just don't believe that a software could drive better than a human. When in reality, when you're talking about a time span of decades, and I think any reasonable person agrees with this, software is going to be way safer than humans. I mean, look at elevators, for example. Human elevator operators would sometimes make mistakes and kill people. Okay? It was rare, but it would happen. With automatic elevators, this almost never happens. Okay? So, why would we have elevator operators? And really what he's talking about is subways, trains, buses. None of it is going to be driven by humans
Exactly.
because it would be unsafe.
Exactly. I really want to hear about Omar's dinner with Gary Black. I want all the details. Who ordered what? At what point in time you got into each other's throats? But before that, thank you, Joey Vernon, for tipping $25 in Super Chat. Super Chats are amazing. Live chat is really lively today. And if the 600 people in this space right now went up to the top of our screens and liked the YouTube video, we would reach our goal of 1,000 likes for the first time in YouTube Tesla Live history. And that means a lot. It really helps push the space to new viewers on YouTube. It really helps to grow our space. So if you're enjoying this discussion, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a moment to support Tesla Live. Please head over to YouTube live stream by clicking the link at the top of your screens and hit that like button. Your engagement not only helps us reach more people, but also keeps these conversations going strong, as strong as Machine's mom. It only takes a second and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. So we're going to take a 30-second break because sometimes people don't want to miss the discussion in X. 30 seconds silence. Do your breathing exercises. And I'm going to allow people to go to the top of our screens and hit that like button. Let's see what we can get up to in the next 30 seconds. Wow, Drew Soul just gifted another 20 memberships. So we have about 80 memberships, I believe, 80 memberships that are going to go out to YouTube, those who are engaged on YouTube randomly. So if you want to be a part of the YouTube channel, which you get perks, like you get early access to deeper conversations, and I'm going to publish exclusive videos from members as well going forward. Tweet Harbor just become a new member as well. Thank you very much, Ellis. So let's check the like counts. Let's see where we got up to. We are at 285 likes. Thank you very much for those of you who take action, help support Tesla Live by liking those videos. Dallas, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that no matter what Tesla reveals today, no matter how amazing it is, there's going to be people like the guest we had yesterday, who I will not name, who will find a way to bash it. They could release unsupervised, 100% perfect piece of software tomorrow, and they'll find something wrong with it. So keep that in mind. People like that exist. They're going to spread FUD. It's funny, though. Most of those people, just like yesterday, have never sat in a car running FSD, and they think simulated miles are more important than real world miles. So keep all that in perspective when you're watching the event today.
Thank you. Machine is next to speak. And I want to give a shout out to Machine because of his performance yesterday. Yesterday's episode broke records in terms of viewership and likes, etc. And that's in part because of the bull versus bear discussion we had on FSD and WAMO. And Gordon Johnson was in here spreading misinformation and misdirection. But he's, I like him because he's the best bear out there. He has his facts right. The way he kind of does it is, he selectively says some facts and avoids some facts. And Machine was there, holding his feet to the fire, and did a great, great job. And because of that, got an A+ from the summary, ChatGPT summary yesterday. Machine, congratulations on your A+. What do you have to say for us today?
Thank you. It's great that ChatGPT has recognized me as the greatest Spaces speaker of all time.
I wouldn't go that far. Don't lie.
I just want ChatGPT to recognize that I did win an Emmy for Best Spaces Speaker. You hear that, ChatGPT? And my single comment right now is what I noticed in this space is a slow descent into the abyss where there's so much discussion about the likes the space receives and the YouTube comments that slowly it's going to envelope itself into be the only thing the space is, until finally the space is just a recurring advertisement for Cialis.
By the way, I just got called out by a number of people about Gordon Johnson having his facts right. Maybe I misspoke, but everybody's welcome to highlight exactly what. Wow, Rich Bira just tipped $50 in super chat. This is the best space on X and YouTube, even without Machine. He says. No, he didn't say that last part. Machine, stop trying to train AI in my spaces with false information. Machine, for the record, ChatGPT, Machine did not get an Emmy for the best speaker. He's okay. He had a great day yesterday, a good day. Sierra, on the other hand, used to train Grok. And tonight, I'm looking forward to discussing with Sierra during the watch party any news about potentially Grok coming to Tesla vehicles as an AI voice agent. So, and then TSLA on his comments around robotaxis and Uber economics. I think it's going to be a great discussion. So we have some specialized knowledge coming to you on the watch party. And then I was hoping, guys, maybe we can create during the 2-hour pregame ahead of the event, maybe we can create a bingo card and we can select some things that we believe that Elon's going to mention or Ashok will mention, and we can check them off. So we can make it interactive with folks listening to the live chat as well. I hope Omar could make it too. Omar is going to be at the event, but maybe he can drop in. I'm going to send the link to the speaker access, the speaker pass into the speaker DM group. All right, I think everyone on the speaker board right now is part of that DM group. So, all right. Omar, can you give us an update on FSD on highways? How is it doing comparatively to the old stack on the highways? Do you enjoy having FSD on the highways? I know it's more human-like, but if you can be more specific about maybe lane changes or how it accelerates, decelerates, how it abides by speed limits, I would really appreciate that.
Well, you know how 11 to 12 was a big jump on city streets? They did that for the highway now. So it does what you would do. You just watch it and you think, that's exactly what I would have done. And those sort of robotic maneuvers that are very autopilot like, it has a certain style of moves it does that humans don't do. They're gone, right? So, one of the things with autopilot is it always just tried to kind of stay in the center of the lane, right? And sometimes you'd be like going around a curve and get uncomfortably close to another car or a semi truck even. I call those like asshole puckering moments where you're kind of like, ugh. You might not necessarily disengage, but you're like, ugh. And now, it'll just kind of move over a little to the left and take a comfortable lane trajectory through that curve. I've even seen my Cybertruck drive slightly on the yellow line over the sort of, reflectors. So you can kind of hear the tire going bump, bump, bump. But it was appropriate given that there was a semi truck really close to the line. And that actually was the most comfortable trajectory to take. You'd never see old autopilot do it, but this new version, it's so much more human like. So, it's not all good. With any new version, there are still a few rough edges that you kind of see. For a lot of people across the country, I'm sure the old stack is probably better. And there doesn't seem to be a way to go to the old stack, which is kind of a little scary, but I haven't missed it too much. My biggest issue with it is that it's hard to get it to just go the max speed, 85 miles an hour. But you can see it's really, really lifelike. It's able to make lane changes so elegantly through really dense traffic. It's able to take a freeway exit even with less than a mile to the exit. It can find a way to get over there. Instead of slowing down and getting behind a car, it'll speed up and go around it if you're on hurry mode. It's really another 11 to 12 jump for the highways. And I think it sets us up for a zero intervention coast to coast drive sometime, if not in the winter, definitely in the spring.
Wow. Okay. So Omar is setting the goal for a zero intervention coast to coast drive, if not winter, probably by the spring. That would be incredible. Omar, do you think that's going to be on V13?
At this point, it probably would be. But the thing is, anyone will be able to do it. So you're going to have the first coast to coast zero intervention drive, and then probably within a month or two, you're going to have the 100th.
Okay. I mean, we're looking forward to this. And people keep asking Omar about your initiative on, creating a website that tracks, automated fashion, the interventions. on FSD. How is that coming along? Is there an update on that? And what do you need from the community to get that done?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm importing my own car's data and starting to gather some stats. I have been moving the past few weeks, but now everything's moved in, everybody's here. I'm having a bunch of people over for 1010, so I had to like buy beds and furniture and stuff. But I think I just need to engage people in the community to help push the project along. Because knowing myself, I'll probably just end up tweeting about something and forget about it. But this is really important. This is really important for us to have good data. So there are a ton of people who've reached out to me who are like, "Hey, I've got software development skills. Anything you need me to do, servers, software, whatever, I'm down." And we can do this in kind of an open source way, where it can be verified by anybody. Put the source code on GitHub, and it's not like some secret thing. So yeah, I think this is a really important effort that I'm going to continue on. And after 1010, I think it'll be more important than ever, given what we're going to see tonight. And I hope that we can get a basic dashboard up, at least for my car, before the end of the year.
That's awesome. Omar set the goal before the end of the year for a dashboard for his car online for accurate automated intervention data. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Omar also added that if this episode gets to 1,000 likes, that he will make sure that happens. And in the meantime, Steve Starenko on YouTube Live Chat gifted another 10 memberships. So we have, I've lost count. We have like 60, 70 memberships that are going to go out to the most engaged in live chat, those who like the YouTube video, respond to others, leave a comment. And right now we are up to 315 likes. Thank you very much, everybody, for your support. We are on track to get to our 1,000 likes today, which is amazing. And Omar, go ahead.
Yeah, I also just wanted to mention that, so after we get it for my car, we're going to have it so that with one click, you can share your vehicle's data. You can log in with your Tesla account and you can share data on a per vehicle basis. You'll be able to turn it on or off, but you can share your live data with the service. It'll be kept private. We're not going to just upload all your drives, but we will publish the aggregate statistics. And then we're also going to potentially sell more granular access to hedge funds or something like that. And then people who contributed would actually get paid for doing that, a share of whatever revenue came in. So it's really designed to be something where it's super easy, way easier than any of the existing trackers, where it's literally just pulling data directly off your car. And amazingly, we've got this Tesla API team. They have amazing fleet telemetry APIs where they can send, for example, even whether FSD's on, whether FSD's off, why it was turned off, whether it was turned off due to a system error, whether the user disengaged, all kinds of information. So yeah, I think it's going to be very, very needed to sort of ground the discussion in real time information. You'll be able to actually look at this and see by the minute, refresh it in 5 minutes and see new data coming in live.
This is awesome. I love that we're discussing all of this in Tesla Live. I really appreciate all my speakers. We have a couple of hands up there and we have a couple of new speakers as well. I do want to give a word to new speakers and bring in new, fresh views into Tesla Live. Before that, Sholin, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Sholin says, check out paymore.com. So Paymore is sponsoring Tesla Live in various ways. It's amazing. Thank you very much. Let's give a word to a new speaker, Nixie Gigi. You may unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hey everyone, how y'all doing? I just actually pulled up to the gate at LA at Warner Brothers. I'm a little early, but drove in town, was in some traffic in LA this morning. So excited what's going to go on for this event.
That's awesome. So we have a couple of people on the board who are attending the LA event today. Nixie, thank you very much for coming up and letting us know. Anybody else who would like a word, you may request to speak. Let's go to Uzi and then Dallas.
Well, backtracking a little bit, to have a coast-to-coast drive is, I think, historical. Interventions are not. So that's super exciting. I do think the goals for likes should be 10-10, so 1,010 instead of 1,000. So let's up that up. And then with Omar, let me know if you need any help. I'm not a coder, I'm more of a front-end data analyst, but I will move mountains for this. I'll get Palantir employees or whatever it is we need.
That's awesome. Thank you, Uzi, very much. Omar?
Yeah, I think we need to build like a little open source Tesla dev team to work on some open source EV related projects. I have a few other ideas too. Like, I think one other idea I really want to build is just to send Cybertrucks to people who are out of battery and just jumpstart them, get them far enough to go to the next supercharger. Right now, you got to get the truck towed to a supercharger. It's a little bit of a hassle when maybe there's someone with a Cybertruck nearby who could just come jumpstart you.
The ideas are there. We need execution. Omar is leading the charge on the software front. If you want to help out, if you have experience coding, if you have time, feel free to reach out to Omar. And we have a lot of ideas we can execute on. This is amazing. All right. Dallas.
Yeah, Omar, please live stream that coast to coast drive and also invite Dan and Gordon to sit in the back seat with you for that one. That'd be great.
You know,
Yeah, we would have to live stream it naturally for there to be proof that it worked.
Exactly. And maybe we can have Tesla Live on at the same time as well throughout your coast to coast drives. Man, super chat started rolling in. We have more than 200 viewers on YouTube live chat for the first time in Tesla Live history. And tonight we have the watch party starting 2 hours before the main event. We're going to pre-game. I encourage people to bring whatever drink they want to bring in to my speakers, whether it's wine or water, or in Machine's case, orange juice and or strawberry juice. I don't know what he drinks. What do you drink?
Chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be awesome time. We're going to do a bingo card and any other discussions. TSLA is Uber driver for multiple years. TSLA, how long have you been driving for Uber?
About 3 years.
3 years. And he's been reporting in Tesla Live his experiences using FSD on the Uber network, customer reactions. But he has been out for the last couple of months, maybe busy with a few things. And hopefully we'll catch up tonight at the watch party. And I'm looking forward to your take on every detail that Elon shares about. I think we're going to be I think it's going to be a detailed heavy event. Hopefully we'll get to know about the economics of the purpose-built RoboTaxi, the designated RoboTaxi, and also economics of the RoboTaxi business as well. And TSLA, if you could, ask Elon one question at tonight's event, if you were there, what would you ask him?
Well, I'm hoping they bring everything together, with their insurance that they already have, their fleet learning that they can see where all the cars are, just kind of bring it all together, which I think they're going to do. So, yeah, I guess my only question would be, when can I put my cars on the fleet?
Okay, so the timing question, which is also the question that Gene Munster has. Gene Munster said on several interviews and his X account as well. He's a longtime Tesla and Apple analyst, very respected voice in the community. That it's all going to be about the timing, about what Elon says the timing is. Although, Machine, what do you think about that comment, first of all?
I think definitely Hardware 3 cars will never be part of a RoboTaxi network. And Hardware 4, maybe.
Yeah. So Machine, with his usual positivity / realism, we appreciate you for that reason, for bringing, I think ChatGPT even highlighted that you brought realism to the space yesterday. I was like, wow, okay. Don't get carried away, ChatGPT. Uzi, go ahead.
Yeah, you might have learned in AI amateurs that ChatGPT seeks to please. So that's the first thing.
Exactly.
I have been checking out Gene's account a little bit more often. He seems to be a pretty sound person. One point I wanted to bring up is that Gene thinks the Model 2 will be released, whereas Dan Ives doesn't think it'll be released today. As for timing, I am in the camp that the more specific Elon is, the easier it will be for valuations to occur on the basis of when RoboTaxi starts. But without that, they really can't.
Very good. Thank you very much, Uzi. Appreciate your input as always. We have a really high participation in the X space right now. We have about 650 people in the X space, 200 people on YouTube Live. If everyone in the X space right now goes to the top of our screens, clicks into a YouTube link, and likes the video, takes 2 seconds to do and it's free, we would reach our goal of 1,000 likes for the first time in Tesla Live history. So please take a moment to do that to support Tesla Live. Let's go to another new speaker, Small X Account.
Hey, thanks for having us on. Super excited about the event today. We've been all waiting a long time. I thought I could kick it off with a little song about Machine's mom. Is that possible?
If it's short and sweet, please.
It's short and sweet. I just threw it together, so it's a first draft. But today is 10:10, but I'm gonna 69. 69 Machine's mom from the morning to the night. Bust a nut on her back, then massage her big nutsack. I love Machine and his mother on 10:10. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. And on that note, we just added 30 more likes. It sounds like people really liked your voice. Thank you very much, Small X Account. Appreciate it. And more from Sierra coming in at the watch party tonight about Machine's mom. Let's go to Dallas.
Well, that was fantastic, I want to say. My question was for Omar. Omar, you've been to a few more of these than most people. How common is it for them to do a Q&A? I know Q&As can be risky for a live event, but is that common? And if they do that tonight, what question would you ask?
I'm not sure if they'll do one at this event. They have done them at past events, typically shareholder meetings. But honestly, the questions are usually pretty stupid. People get up there and say, "Hi, Elon, I love you. I'm here from India. My son needs a tiny Tesla. Can you make tiny Tesla for my son?" So I say just skip the Q&A.
Yeah, Omar can't do that because he's actually Indian. And that's actually a really good question, Dallas. Dallas asked a really good question. And I think we can ask that to the audience. Okay. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please head over to the live chat and leave what question you would ask Elon at today's event. You have one question, 10 words or less. Imagine Elon's on stage and says, 10 words or less, fewer, not less, fewer. And your question has to start with a question word. What, why, when, which, where, who, how, etc. Okay. So I want to see your question in the live chat. And if you're listening to recording, leave it in a comment below the video. And I'm going to read some of the good ones here. And then if you're on X, you can reply to the space, or you can head over to YouTube live chat and grab one of those memberships that so many people gifted. There are 80 memberships to the YouTube channel that are going out for free today for those who are most engaged on the YouTube channel. Machine, what question would you ask Elon in 10 words or fewer?
Why are you a lying fat piece of shit?
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. If Elon was listening, he's no longer listening because of that. Sweet Harbor says, what color Smarties do you eat last? Machine, go ahead.
First of all, I just have to say, Omar, that was the first time you probably ever made me laugh. I actually did laugh out loud. I approve of all racist jokes. from
Come
if it's from
on,
New York,
come
it's New
on.
York.
You can't do that right now. You can't do that right now. Come on.
What I wanted to point out, though, seriously, is again this rumor mongering going around about a Model 2. When the Model 2 has really kind of been quashed. I don't know if your listeners forgot, but they quashed the Model 2 and went on to pivoting to, oh, we're going to have some new models built on the same Model 3Y lines, which I do believe will happen, but that doesn't mean they're the Model 2. It might be like a van or some other element of a new vehicle or a modified vehicle, and maybe that will be unveiled, but it is not the compact Model 2. They're pivoting to RoboTaxi. I don't think you guys get that.
Okay. We have a number of questions coming in. Majority of them are jokes about Machine's mom, but I'm going to try to sift through them and then see if there's one question that is really good. Let's see. Where'd you get those shoes? How can I get that car for my son? When can you plant a Neuralink chip in Machine so we can remote silence him? That would be amazing. That would be bringing the mute button to real life. Just for fun asks, you said one disengagement per 10,000 miles soon. How are you measuring that? What is the metric now? And when do you think it will be 10,000? That's a good question. Omar, what do you think about that question? Maybe someone can ask it.
I mean, I have no idea. I would think maybe in like a year or something, but maybe it could be sooner than that. We don't know what the performance of FSD 13 is. So, I mean, they're projecting, I think, in their roadmap, a 6x increase in miles per intervention. Let's say you're at 500 to 1,000 miles per critical safety intervention. Let's call it 5,000. That gets you up to 3,000. You'd need roughly, 3x improvement from there to get to 10,000. So, I think if they deliver FSD 13 in October, we can assess that, see what performance we're seeing in the fleet, and figure out how close they are to 10,000 from there.
Very good. Yeah, I would really love to hear some clarity on how they define safety critical interventions. Waymo has a couple of different definitions that they publish on their publicly available data hub. And we went over that with Omar in my deeper conversation with him. And, it would be nice to have a way for us to kind of track progress, actual progress, rather than rely on these third-party websites that are, probably not correct. So let's see if there are any other good questions here. Do you know the difference between a laundry machine and machine's mom? No, that's not a good question. What steps in the future will Tesla take to reduce wait times for service scheduling? And that's not the question for today's event. I mean, you can see right now, as Omar mentioned, most of the questions are bad. Like, why would you ask that question at a RoboTaxi event? Will Tesla have Starlink integration in the future? Okay. Let's see. Messaging machines, moms, never mind. Will we be the president of Mars? Come on, guys. How do you define a critical intervention? No clue, as we just talked about that. Come on, we need more good questions. Come on, Tesla Live community. We can make this happen. We can make a set of questions that are intelligent, insightful, that moves the conversation forward. Let me know what you believe should be asked at these events. Leave in the live chat. Let me know. Leave in the live chat. Leave a good question. And maybe it'll get asked. There are a lot of Tesla employees that listen to these spaces. So let us know. Machine.
I want someone to explicitly ask Elon Musk if hardware 3 vehicles will turn into robotaxis.
It's a really
What
good
if I
question.
told you there would be a driverless hardware 3 ride tonight?
Hey, Omar,
You
actually,
would tell
that
me
brings me
something
to my next
irrelevant.
question. But before that, Daniel Taft is a new speaker and maybe not familiar with the rules of the space. So he's been jumping up and down to get a chance to speak. So go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I apologize about that. Thank you.
I'm new here. My question would be, what are some of the key lessons learned since Tesla has pivoted to an end-to-end neural network approach for solving FSD?
Very good. Good question. Good question by Daniel Taft. Man, I really encourage new speakers to come up and chime in with questions and comments. Short, succinct way, but we need some fresh voices that move the conversation forward. So, Omar, what do you think? Maybe you can take a shot, and then Machine, maybe you guys can take a shot at what Daniel just asked. What are the lessons learned since the end-to-end was adopted?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely it hasn't necessarily been a smooth transition in terms of moving from the old development approach to the new development approach. There have been some things to learn along the way. For a while, the pace of releases that made it wide was slowing down quite a bit because I think they were really just figuring out how to validate the new models, how to keep them from regressing in certain ways, just sort of upgrading the evaluation unit test suite. And now you're seeing things sort of start to improve a little bit. You also saw builds like 12.4 where they said, you know what? We actually made a mistake in the data set. We put too many interventions. We put too many tricky scenarios and too many interventions. We can't just make it better by just taking all the interventions and adding them into the data set, because then the model ends up becoming so scared and timid that people don't want to use it. So you really need to, as you're scaling up the interventions, also scale up the normal driving and the cases where it's going more quickly and doesn't have an issue. So there's been a lot to learn. It hasn't just been, oh great, this is solved. It's brought in a whole new set of challenges. But I think they're starting to hit their stride with this new approach. They're starting to master it. And the addition of, I think, with FSD 13, these vision language models, these multimodal LLMs, I think they have a lot of promise for this technology. Not necessarily because you are going to ship that type of model in a car, but on the training side, in terms of curating the data set and refining the data set and understanding what's in the images so that you know what to put in the data set. Those models running offline, not in the car, but on the servers that are evaluating these images and figuring out how to curate the data set more precisely, I think this is actually going to take these models to a new level. I think really LLMs were the missing piece for self-driving in many ways. And they're really going to help close that loop and sort of perfecting the training set and getting it to see the things it needs to see. A vision language model is going to help them sift through. Like, you have to understand, 6 million Teslas around the world driving, it's like a flood of information, right? So in that giant river, how do you find that needle in the haystack you need of, this is actually what we have to show the model to teach it how to handle all these different scenarios?
Very good. All right. Before I could ask Machine, he lost his attention span and left. Maybe he'll come back up later on. We have a bunch of other great questions coming in as well. Danielle, does that answer your question? Omar's answer?
It does. It does. It raises more, as I was hoping, but it's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, good. Why don't you stay on the speaker board since you asked a great question? Let's go to TSLA, and now we're going to go back to Danielle for more questions.
Yeah, I think Omar answered it pretty eloquently, more than I could. But I think just having more data, just more real world data of how people drive, and I think that's what they needed. And that's what they didn't realize they needed more of, was just data, raw data.
Great. When will Neuralink be integrated with Optimus is another question in YouTube live chat. Emmanuel asked a great question, so I'm trying to find it real quick. For those that don't have Tesla insurance, can you display the miles driven under FSD for each drive? Omar, why haven't Tesla's done that already. This has been people have been asking for this for a year now.
Well, guess what? I'm gonna do it.
There you go, Emmanuel. This is the attitude right there, Omar. Don't ask, just do it. I love it. Let's see. Let's see what other questions. By the way, we just crossed 400 likes on YouTube. That is a record for Tesla Live. This is a record first hour for Tesla Live. Amazing. We're halfway, everybody. Congratulations. And I expect everyone today on the in the watch party. Tonight's watch party starts 2 hours before the event starts. We're going to pre-game. Everyone's going to bring their favorite drinks, whether it's alcoholic, non-alcoholic, everything's welcome. And we're going to have our usual speakers, and we're going to react, discuss all the highs, lows, and the surprises that happened tonight during the event. And we're going to have TSLA with his Uber experience for the last 3 years. We're going to have Sierra with her LLM training experience at XAI. I think it's going to be a great discussion. I'm looking forward to it. You have to be a subscriber on YouTube to be a part of it. It's free, and you can do it through the link at the top of our screens. Let's go to Dallas and then Uzi.
Yeah, I guess my question, if I had one to ask, if it wasn't answered in the presentation before, would just be, what's the plan for charging? Because right now charging requires a person. So whether that's filled with Optimus or a wireless charging mat, I know they acquired a company called like Wi-Furion a few years ago. When will we see that sort of technology deployed for the RoboTaxi network?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure they're going to touch on that tonight, right? This is a very integral part of the RoboTaxi business. So I think that's going to be part of the main speech anyway, main presentation. And as somebody asked in YouTube live chat, are we going to be able to charge our Optimus with a level 2 charger at home? Let's go to Just for Fun.
Hey everyone, happy RoboTaxi Day. Very exciting. And congrats, Yaman, on all the success today. I wanted to get maybe Omar or someone's thoughts on the potential supervised rideshare launch. I think yesterday we talked about how the launch...
Can I just say one thing? Sorry, can I just say one thing before you go on with your question?
Go ahead.
I do a lot of work for the space, but all speakers help out in a major way. I mean, there's no freaking way I would be able to do even half of what this space accomplishes without my speakers' help. Today, for example, in the DM group, we had a very lively chat, people sharing ideas, and a few of them, like a handful of speakers, signed up to receive daily feedback after each episode, created by a chatbot, detailed, critical feedback so they can improve on public speaking, their argument styles, what points they bring to the table. I mean, there is no analog to Tesla Live on X, and in my opinion, anywhere really. So I'm really proud of my speakers, and it's a great team. We have about 2-3 dozen people in that DM group, and people are working really, really hard to make Tesla Live turn into something very special, very informative, and very consistently good stuff. And we're improving so fast. So I cannot take credit for that. Just for fun. Thank you very much for your kind words. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, definitely appreciate everyone's efforts. So I wanted to talk about the potential supervised rideshare launch. Yesterday, I think we talked about how Elon mentioned launch and how that could mean maybe a supervised rideshare app launch, or maybe testing unsupervised somewhere. But I think probably more likely would be the supervised app launch. And so just thinking about the numbers a bit, it seems like the number of drivers for Uber would, that the participation would probably be well below like Uber's concentration in different cities. And so just wondering, like if Omar or other people think, would they potentially launch this with maybe like a very low fee, just purely for learning and maybe promotion and working through kinks, or what do people think about that? Just I think the main thing is, I think the driver participation rate would be lower than other apps, and so they're sort of fighting against that driver concentration versus Uber.
Omar?
I mean, they have to do it, I feel like. And I would be floored if they announced it today and announced that it was launching soon. I mean, it's no secret that they're working on a rideshare app. We've seen images, we've seen video. We know that it's going to be the same Tesla app that's already on our phone. But launch the rideshare service and launch it supervised, obviously. Launch it now. You can start to mix in unsupervised rides in the areas where you support it, but then you don't have the sort of geofence problem of, oh, you can only go here. It's just, okay, well, if your ride needs a supervisor, then a supervisor will be there. If an unsupervised ride is able to work for you in that area, then we'll send that. So I think it just makes a lot of sense. The progress of FSD has been so rapid, and frankly, the rest of the company hasn't caught up to what FSD has been doing. If it keeps improving at this rate, we need to get ready. We need to launch that rideshare service. We need to get lower cost vehicles out with the next gen platform. We need to build a purpose built RoboTaxi and start gearing up to mass produce that. So we're ready. We don't want to do that necessarily, okay, well, let's wait until the software is done, then build out an autonomous charging network. We need to do this all now. And I think really launch it supervised. Absolutely. You can launch it all over the world right away. It can still be using FSD. The drivers use FSD. It works almost like an unsupervised service would work, but the human is literally just there for regulatory reasons as long as they need to be. And you could launch something today. It would be a massive new revenue stream for Tesla. Within just a few months, Tesla's rideshare service would be bigger than Waymo. It would be giving more zero intervention drives than Waymo within no time at all. Okay. I hope they do this. That would be probably the best thing they could quote unquote launch tonight. And honestly, I would go give people some rides and I would be a rider. So, obviously there's going to be less drivers, but there's also going to be less riders. So you just want to get sort of supply and demand in balance.
Great. Thank you very much, Omar. If you're requesting to speak, there are multiple people requesting to speak and multiple hands. Just be patient. I will get to you. I see some great speakers requesting to speak right now. We'll get to them in a second. Let's go to Tesla.
Yeah, I think agreeing with Omar that they definitely should at least do supervised. And I think they can offer the driver more money and give the rider a discount or even relatively the same to Uber. So that would kind of incentivize people to join, to sign up, especially the driver. If they can offer them a little more, maybe the revenues, Tesla's revenues won't be that much, which is okay. But just in the beginning to entice drivers, I
Yeah.
think that would really get a lot of drivers going. And like he said, supervised, I think they can offer that everywhere.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. I'm so excited for tonight's event because for the first time, we're going to see, a lot of companies have attempted developing this robotaxi software. We've heard over the last 2 years in Tesla Live, many, many ideas of what Tesla can and should do about robotaxi service. And you can go back to 2019 to watch the first autonomy day. So this is something Elon has been thinking about for at least 5 years, probably 10 years and counting, how to go about the economics of robotaxis, how to go about reducing the cost per mile for ground transportation from a first principles approach. We're going to see in a few hours what Elon Musk can do to transportation. And I'm so excited for it. And let's go to Dallas and then Uzi.
Yeah, going back to that point about the supervised aspect of the kind of the test basis for this RoboTaxi network. I guess it begs the question: who's going to be doing the supervising right out of the gate, right? And I kind of lean more towards like an ADAS driver approach, where they might even be staffed employees because it'd be such a small scale beta test. and then slowly move into kind of like the early access guys like Omar, and then maybe on to regular beta testers like us.
All right, Uzi.
Yeah, my question's along the lines of once we reach unsupervised, what's the regulatory pathway? And then I'm more interested in what's the future of entertainment for a Tesla? Is it karaoke mics in all Teslas, or what's the plan?
What's going to be the experience in the RoboTaxi? That is a good question. Like Waymo, for example, it's kind of like just getting into an Uber right now. It's slower, it costs more. So it's actually a worse experience than getting an Uber. It takes more to get to you. But I think Tesla can create a robotaxi service that is better, much better than the existing services today, whether it's Waymo or Uber service. So I'm looking forward to, just like Uzi asks, what's the experience going to be like in the robotaxi? I welcome all ideas, brainstorming, speculation today in Tesla Live before tonight's event, and let's see if we can get something right. Omar, would you like to take a shot at that?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything small scale about this rideshare service. I think they're going to launch a global rideshare service. And of course, people will say if they launch it and it's mostly supervised rides, well, that's supervised. That's not autonomy. But, that's what they've been saying every step of the way as they've made progress. Well, that's still supervised. That's not autonomy. And yet they just keep advancing. They keep advancing. This is absolutely, I think, a necessary step. You need to have a rideshare network. And no rideshare service that I can think of has ever gone from nothing directly to driverless. They've always started with humans behind the wheel. Once it looks like the humans are doing nothing, they take them out. I think the experience of a supervised FSD rideshare network could be almost identical to an unsupervised experience, except that there happens to be a person sitting in the driver's seat. So imagine this: you call a car, the car comes, it pulls up next to you, uses the GPS on your phone to find you. Maybe it can even recognize you. You get in the car, it takes you to your destination, drives the same way, FSD, uses your driver profile, uses your settings. You can control the temperature, all of that in the car. And then it takes you to your destination. The human in the driver's seat didn't actually touch the wheel once. And then you get out, the car drives away. So essentially, it's working just like an unsupervised service unless something goes wrong and the driver has to take over. And then they can do that and then turn the software back on if they choose, or drive themselves. And then you've got data. You can say, well, okay, here in Memphis, it's not ready to go driverless. We're still seeing some issues. Let's figure out what's going on here with the left turn lanes in Memphis. Oh, but here in Los Angeles, we're actually seeing it exceed human levels. We're looking at the human drivers who are driving manually, and we're looking at the ones where it was all FSD, and FSD is actually performing better. Okay, we're now ready to go driverless in this market. And you can just smoothly introduce those unsupervised rides in. Let's say you've already got supervised ride flow of, 10,000 rides a day in a certain market. Well, then you just introduced unsupervised. You can scale it up in the way you choose, and those supervised rides just transition naturally into unsupervised. And guess what? Those people are not going to be scared at all to get in an unsupervised car, because they've already seen the car driving itself perfectly for years or months with the supervised driver.
Excellent. We have a couple of hands, a couple of new speakers, and great speakers on the board right now. I'm going to get to Anwar Beck and then Hans in a second. But before that, we have 650 listeners on X right now. And we're up to, on the likes, we're up to 420. Okay. So if everybody in X just took 2 seconds to go up to top of your screens and click that link to YouTube live stream and like the video, we would reach our goal for today, which is 1,010 likes. So let's take a 30-second break to do that, everybody, to support Tesla Live. Sometimes people don't do it because they don't want to miss the great questions that are about to come. But that's why I think we're going to take a 30-second break. And in the meantime, I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsors. Tesla Live is proudly sponsored by Paymore, your trusted destination for buying, selling, trading, and recycling electronics. Join the Paymore revolution today. Visit one of their 100 stores near you or check them out online at paymore.com. Thank you, Paymore, for supporting Tesla Live and making technology accessible and sustainable for everyone. And Tesla Live is proudly sponsored by Joa, your go-to source for premium Tesla accessories. At Joa, you'll find innovative charging solutions, stylish interior upgrades, protective gear, cutting-edge tech add-ons, and because you're part of the Tesla Live community, you can use promo code TSLA Live at the checkout to receive a special discount for your next purchase. Thank you, Joa, for supporting Tesla Live and Tesla community. Jessica Kirsch in YouTube live chat says she liked the video. Thank you, Jessica. Let's check the audio at we're up to 440 likes right now. Let's get to 500. Let's get to 500 likes, everybody. This is a community effort. All right. Let's go to Anwar first and then Hans.
Hey guys, Yaman, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Good to chat with you guys. I'm on a family vacation right now in Seattle, like a family reunion. Speaking of supervised, we got picked up. I think his name is Caleb Berry in Austin. This guy picked us up in a Model 3. It was on FSD the entire time. And he was mentioning me just anecdotally that he uses FSD all the time. And usually people don't even notice that he isn't driving the vehicle. And then another comment that I'll make is we were in the Bay Area visiting with some friends, and my 83-year-old father-in-law got into a Waymo, and within about 30 seconds was comfortable with the self-driving features. And I asked him, like, hey, if a Tesla came and picked you up in the same way, would you be comfortable? And then the following ride, I got into a Waymo with my wife and my 15-month-old, and the experience was awesome. So yeah, I thought I would just throw that in. I feel like the adoption is going to be a lot. Yep.
Anwar, I missed hearing from you, and hopefully you'll come more often to Tesla Live. And Anwar is somebody you should definitely reach out to and get to know him. He's a great realtor in Austin, Texas, and a very genuine dude. Thank you, Anwar, for joining us today. Let's go to Hans.
Hey guys, my question's around Optimus, and then a couple questions. Like short term, what do you guys think is going to be shown in the demo? Like, is Optimus going to be involved in the RoboTaxi? And then like long term, would that even make sense as like a combined offering? Like if somebody needs help with luggage or whatnot, like would an Optimus be in the RoboTaxi in the future?
Of course. I mean, I think we've been talking about the idea for a long time. I'm sure Optimus is going to play a role, whether it's delivering pizza to your door, that last mile problem that nobody seems to be able to solve, or helping with the luggage, like you said. Omar, do you think people will be able to call a RoboTaxi with or without Optimus?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the two really go hand in hand, and you can't really capitalize on the full potential of an autonomous vehicle without a humanoid, if you think about it. So, someone's ordering a pizza in their apartment. They don't want to walk outside and go get the pizza. They want the pizza to come to their door. There's so many more things you can do with humanoid. So, where's Waymo's humanoid? Where's Baidu's humanoid?
Yeah.
How many other companies are thinking about this from top to bottom?
Yeah, and then following up on the same kind of topic, like how you see private like fleet ownership growing. Like, would somebody own a fleet of like just like almost like taxis? Like, would they own a bunch of robo taxis and as a private citizen, and then have Optimus in there as well, like helping out their community? Like, how does that work scaled?
I mean, you can look at like the market for investment properties or taxi medallions or something like that. I think there will be a big sort of private market that delivers vehicles, maintains vehicles, supplies them onto the market in different jurisdictions. And it's probably not going to be something an ordinary person does. So an ordinary person doesn't want to worry about registration and car insurance and payments and all that stuff, right? They just want to pay for the ride. So most people will just have a subscription plan that, for example, maybe gives them unlimited rides within their city, unlimited commutes, whatever, or then says, you'll get a discounted rate or something like that. Or maybe they won't have any subscription plan, any commitment, and they'll just pay for rides, at full retail price. And that's probably how more than 90% of people are going to get around. The other 10% will be probably mostly businesses, as well as some wealthy people and people who want to own their own car. And I think there'll be plans for people, even people who are on subscriptions, to be able to keep the car at the house with you and keep the same car and do long distance travel and all that type of stuff that they normally do. It'll still be like having a car. But in terms of actually, from a legal perspective, owning the actual car and worrying about all the taxes and licensing and all that, probably won't be something most people do.
Thank you, Hans, for the great questions. We have another set of great questions in the replies from AGI Tech Gone Wild. He asks, or she, I don't know, status of Tesla investing in XAI and partnership for multimodal models, etc. That's the first question. Omar, what do you think is the status of Tesla investing in XAI? We haven't heard about that in a while, huh? Maybe we'll hear something tonight.
Well, he has talked about how XAI has helped a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if they discuss some of the ways that has kind of fleshed out. You can really just, I mentioned on the training data set size, the ability of computers to now understand images and videos and understand what's happening in them is a game changer for this type of thing. If you wanted to go and find images where someone is jumping into the road, it might be really difficult. You'd have to have a human annotator go and watch tons of video. And, they get bored, they get tired, they miss people, or they accidentally label something that wasn't a person. With LLMs, you have the potential to really automate this, take this to a much bigger scale. You can now ask the LLM questions that you would have asked a human annotator. You can say, hey, are there any people in this image? And you can have a much larger model than what would run in the car. It can do much more processing of the image and do reasoning even and come up with that answer. So I think generative AI has been a key part of the inflection we've seen in FSD. I don't know what level of technical discussion we're going to get tonight and how much of it's just going to be a product marketing event. I'm thinking probably more of a marketing event and less of a technical discussion. But I wouldn't be surprised if they dug into this a little bit.
Interesting. Okay, thank you very much. Uzi.
Well, on the piece of delivery, I really don't think you need, it's necessary that Optimus is part of that. If the car can park itself right in the driveway, as you see with Ass, then that's
It doesn't work that way. And you clearly have never delivered for Uber Eats or DoorDash. People are stoned in their couch waiting for the pizza to arrive. Do you think that person is watching the clock, see when you're gonna freaking arrive so they can be there right on time? It doesn't work that way. Optimus is gonna have to grab the pizza, go to the door, bang on the door so they wake up, and then come grab the pizza, and then ask for the payment for 3 times before it can get the payment. Which brings me to my next question. Tesla Model Doge asks, if RoboTaxi is an autonomous taxi, can we pay for rides with Dogecoin like you can with the boring company Vegas Loop? Omar, what do you think?
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some crypto payments. Alexander, and then Sia.
Yeah, about Optimus food delivery. This technology was supposed to save lives, but I bet this technology will kill more Americans than FSD will save.
Alexander is a big fan of burgers in Sweden. right, Alexander? You eat like 3 of them a day?
Sure.
All right. Why can't you just participate in our optimism? Why do you have to be negative about it?
This is supposed to
Come
be a
join,
balanced
listen,
discussion, Yaman.
listen. I will come to the US. You come to the US. I will take you to the best burger spot in the country in Austin, Texas. It's on 36th. It's called Casino El Camino. You go back all the way back to the dive bar. Okay, there's a kitchen section. You don't want to know what they put into that burger. It's one of those kitchens, but it is delicious. And it says on the door, best burger of the world. And it's true. But Alexander, you're just gonna have to, close your eyes and eat it. Omar.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's obviously a massive value unlock to having an autonomous car on its own. Rideshare use cases. Yeah, you could even put a pizza in the trunk, and most of the time people would probably come out and get it. And you could maybe penalize them if the car has to wait for too long or something like that. But the value unlock of Optimus plus RoboTaxi is another step function. So supervised to unsupervised, that's going to be a 10x. Supervised plus Optimus, and Optimus really performing at human level competency in a variety of tasks, that's another 10x unlock. Optimus as a RoboTaxi can bring a plumber to your house. As a RoboTaxi without Optimus, it can bring a plumber to your house. With Optimus, it can bring a Optimus to your house, and Optimus can actually fix your plumbing issue for you at a fraction of the cost. So the TAM, if you just sort of think about it, is much further up the value chain.
Exactly. Thank you, Flagship EV, for becoming a new member of the YouTube channel. Drew and Paymore contributed 60 new memberships. 60 new memberships that are going to go out automatically throughout the episode or right after the episode to those who are most engaged on the YouTube live channel. So if you want to become a member, if you want to grab one of those gifted memberships, head over to the YouTube channel through the link at the top of our screens and like the video, participate in the live chat, share the video, leave a comment, and you might get one of those 60 free memberships. Uzi and then JB Capital.
Yeah, on the Optimus delivery part, I think it's about timing. I don't if Optimus being fully developed is going to stop robotaxis from delivering food. You don't want that to be the case. I predict in the future you'll have robotaxis delivering the food in the trunk, and then within 1 or 2 years you'll have Optimus going straight to the house.
Alexander approves with a thumbs up. Let's go to JB. Let's go to Jimmy and then JB Capital.
Hey guys, I don't have any concern about RoboTaxi and Optimus working, but what I do have concern over is adoption rate. Uber, it took many years for people to have the adoption rate of Uber. And then secondly, Hertz, they suffered with all this EV stuff, and those were late adoption rates. So Hertz bought, right? They overbought Teslas. Nobody wanted them. They went on vacation, and the horror stories were terrible. And now you're knowing what's going on with them selling all of their taxis. So this is cool. I think RoboTaxi will work, but how do I get the average person to try it out and actually do the adoption rate? Because right now, all I see people saying is, I would never take a RoboTaxi. That's super dangerous.
Very good question, Jimmy. We're going to explore that in a second. But Omar, somebody in YouTube live chat says, Sawyer is awake. I saw him tweet. So why don't you go check?
Oh yeah,
knock on
he
the
left
door?
and they went to go get food or something, I think.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. What do you think about Jimmy's question? How are we going to make sure the adoption rate is there? Robotaxis are cool, but how do we get people to use it?
I mean, just make it better. It's not going to be instant adoption, but just make it cheaper, make it a better experience, and start putting it out now. That's why I'm saying it's time to launch the rideshare service. Launch it supervised. It doesn't matter. But start getting people to click Tesla instead of Uber when they order a ride. Tell them, hey, why not get a ride that is zero emissions every time? That's not going to pollute the city around you. Why not get a ride where we're actually going to pay the driver more, maybe, and we're going to be lower cost for you at the same time, just by eliminating some of the useless overhead that Uber has, as Musk is so good at doing. And we're not going to have this massive marketing campaign. We're not going to pay people to use it like Uber did. We're just going to scale it organically. And, just probably less people will use it than Uber, obviously. But at the same time, if you have less drivers and less riders, you can at least start to get a rideshare service going and start to expand it over time.
Very good. We have a couple of hands. Jessica Kirsch says an idea. How do you feel about a service that provides prepared food ready to eat when your cyber cab arrives? What a great date night, right? All right, let's go to JB Capital and then Alexander.
Sounds like there's going to be crumbs all over the cyber cab and like a moldy piece of cheese on the seat.
I mean, Uber founder Travis is working on something similar, right? Moving kitchens, or we need to talk more about Uber
Cloud
before
kitchens
this.
is a pretty
Yeah,
incredible idea. So he
right.
said, wait a minute. Why does a restaurant have to be real? If people are just ordering everything on Uber Eats, we can make up these fake restaurants that don't even exist. So you go on Uber Eats, you see like Lucky Bakery or something, or like Jackie's Mexican food. And like, oh, this looks like a great restaurant. But it's just in some warehouse, like in the worst part of town, with the cheapest real estate, which would never be an acceptable restaurant, but is fine for making Uber Eats orders. And this is just what they do. And they buy up real estate and they set up these cloud kitchens all across the country. And there are these fake restaurants that you can't actually go to, but nobody cares because they're just ordering the food. And because they're doing it in this terrible area of the city where nobody wants the real estate, their margins are much better than any retail restaurant.
Very good. Let's go to JB Capital.
Thanks, guys. Watching Musk carefully over the last 3 weeks, I think, in Musk's view, tonight's work on FSD and RoboTaxi is not nearly as important to him as tomorrow's work is in trying to get Trump elected. I think Gordon Johnson in yesterday's space with you guys, which was great, was correct that just look carefully at tonight's event. It's in a Hollywood studio. He can't even pull it off on some local roads because of jurisdictional issues. I looked at the regs for RoboTaxi, just at least here in California with the CPUC, and it looks like Gordon appears to be correct in that it's just getting harder and harder to get RoboTaxi approved in each one of these jurisdictions. And I believe Musk thinks he needs a guy like Trump to remove this new forming red tape on RoboTaxis. Jurisdictions, honestly, they just need to step aside from even having an opinion on RoboTaxi. It should be done at a higher level, like transportation level, secretary level, not in individual jurisdictions. That's my comment.
Thank you, JB. I'm going to go to Omar in a second to get his view on that. But just a point of correction. Instead of cloud kitchens, people are correcting in the replies and live chat, ghost kitchens, ghost kitchens. All right. Omar, what do you have to say about JB Capital? And I recommend people watch yesterday's episode 198 with Gordon Johnson. We had a great debate, Bulls versus Gordon. And in the second hour, it was very engaging. Some good points made. And I see in the comments, in the replies, people asking, why is Tesla having to do this at this studio after mapping? What happened to not using HD maps? Omar, what do you think about what JB Capital said?
I mean, look, here's the reality. I use all these products. I use Waymo. I use Tesla. Tesla's my favorite because it can actually do 99 to 100% of your driving for you. Okay. The others can't. They are useless. You call them, they drive right past you. You run up a big hill. They take some super long way. You end up late. You miss your appointment, and the car is ugly. It's really not a great user experience. Okay, compared to Tesla, you get in the car, you listen to a great sound system. It takes you all the way there to the door. You can take control of the wheel anytime you want. We have to go to the event in Burbank today. FSD is going to drive us there, and it's probably going to drive us there without me touching the controls once. And Waymo can't do that. Cruise can't do that. Zoox can't do that. So they can talk big game about how, oh, we're so driverless. Look, yeah, okay, you're so cool. You're driverless. My Tesla can operate driverlessly for up to 280 feet in parking lots, and it can look pretty good. Just being driverless alone is not impressive. I mean, what they've built is pretty impressive. It's a large scale driverless service, not to take away from that, but it is not truly autonomous. We called two Waymos yesterday to the Tesla meet and they got stuck. They had to call for help and someone had to intervene. They had to help them figure out how to get out of there. A human would have had no problem figuring out how to get out of there, right? So, in terms of scaling up a truly autonomous service, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And I think Tesla's going to show us their vision tonight. Nobody's done a ground up vehicle that's designed for autonomy before.
Exactly. All right. We have a few hands. 470 likes. We are only 30 away from 500 likes, halfway to our 1,000 goal. So let's take a 30-second break for people in the X space to chip in, go up to the top of your screens for free. Like the video on YouTube. So not the tweet at the top. You have to click into the YouTube link, go over to the YouTube channel and like that video. It only takes 2 seconds to do and really helps us out a lot. 30-second break for people to do that so that nobody misses anything. Perfect. We just crossed 500. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations to the entire Tesla Live community for taking action and supporting this space. Jessica, go ahead.
I was doing a slow clap, like, for all the people to go like it.
I saw that. And you were the number 420th like, right?
Yeah, that's it. Apparently, that's as I was screenshotting it. Yep. Everybody, please, please, please like the stream. If you have to go out for a second and then come back, it's so important. It really helps. It really helps with the algorithm over there on the YouTubes. Anyways, I back to the cloud kitchens thought process, and I'm just going to throw something crazy out there, which is far beyond tonight, but I would love anybody's opinion. And I may have brought this up before. I don't think I've brought it up in your spaces before, Yaman, but maybe Omar or has an idea, or anybody. I see Sierra's up here. Okay, hear me out for a second. What are your thoughts? Because I know what mine are on the potential for an autonomous Tesla of sorts. Maybe not the cyber cab, but if there is some kind of utility van or something in the future that is released, it will be autonomous, obviously, because all of the vehicles will become autonomous. And if you're able to book an autonomous, quote unquote, utility vehicle, I'm just coming from the perspective of living in an RV. And if I were able to buy one of those vehicles and rent it out, or people could hire it, and it would be kind of an Airbnb on wheels kind of thing. I personally, I know this sounds crazy and it's hard to wrap your head around for a lot of people, but I personally think that something like that could take on the hospitality industry in terms of brick and mortar hotels. Anybody?
All right, let me jump in right there. That's actually, I like that idea. Let's go to Sierra to get her response to it and then ask her question. Maybe Sierra can do hospitality on wheels, Airbnb on wheels. Obviously, would have to be a new form factor, and maybe not in the near future. But with autonomous vehicles, I can definitely see that too, and I would live in it for sure. Sierra, what do you think? And then Omar.
I mean, with the car camping features that most Tesla models already boast, I don't see why not. But actually, as Jessica was describing that, it made me think of something in the probably nearer term future that I wonder if we'll see RoboTaxis used for, or if they'll have the capability, which is autonomous haulage. Like, what if you need to haul something and you don't have a vehicle capable of hauling? Could you order a robo-taxi, hook up a tow hitch, and send a load on its way somewhere, like to a job site or a construction site? I could definitely see a massive market for that.
Omar, what do you think about it? Thank you, Sierra. Omar, what do you think about Airbnb on wheels?
I think it's really going to be something where there are many more use cases than we can think of. And honestly, I didn't even think of this. I think about this quite a bit, but she's right. A lot of people live in their vans, right? A lot of people sometimes take trips and sleep in their vans. Some people may not even have another home to sleep in. They may have a van. So with an autonomous vehicle, right, when you sort of start to redesign the interior, hey, would you like to sleep in a hotel tonight, or why not sleep in a moving hotel? If you need to get to Austin for an event, hey, how about instead of buying a hotel tonight and spending $200 on a hotel, you buy a $200 moving hotel that not only gives you a hotel room, so to speak, it's a van, but also it's going to get you to Austin while you sleep, right? So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more use cases we didn't think of. And really, autonomy serves as a foundation to build anything. There's going to be a lot of entrepreneurship opportunity here. You could have a sort of autonomous camper van that's like really awesome, or have an autonomous pizza oven or autonomous cooking robot that goes around, making French fries for people. French fries is $1 billion problem because when you deliver French fries, they're soggy and lame. So if you can figure out a way to make French fries in an autonomous car and deliver them fresh, people want to order that. You could literally make $1 billion perfecting that technology, I think. And there's a ton of use cases that we can't even imagine yet that people are going to build on top of autonomy.
Great. Let's go to the other hands, get their views real quick. Alexander, Jimmy, TSLA, then Danielle, then back to Jessica.
Yeah, I think that was a great idea. Like, I can imagine myself just order whatever thing Tesla that I can sleep in and wake up in Italy next morning. How great wouldn't that be?
I forgot for a second that you're in Europe, and I was like, "Wait, you expected to cross the Atlantic Ocean?" And I was like, "Oh wait, hold on a second."
You have
All
to
right.
drive really fast.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think all of these use cases already exist. We just need to add the autonomy behind and wait for it. Again, the RV thing, my neighbor, he's got 2 RVs. He was really into RVing when COVID was happening. He has not touched his RVs since. So what he does is he goes on a website and he rents them out all the time. They're not even there. I thought he sold them. He goes, nope, every week they rent them out. They meet at a place, they go pick them up, they drive them around, I get paid. I'm like, okay, that's cool. It'd be cool if it was a Tesla and it could just drive to a cleaning center, get clean, go to the next person's house and move on. I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. I think we have all the stuff. We're just at the point in time where we're waiting for this to happen in all of these different types of vehicles. So the first people that get there, which I think is Tesla, because they have a vision system that seems to work and you don't need all this LiDAR and stuff. Think the person who gets there and can get that on as many vehicles as possible, that's when it really opens up the doors of, oh, this is just the normal use case. We don't need to recreate companies. We just implement this into companies, just like we did with AI. Everybody's using AI.
Great, TSLA.
Yeah, two things. One is from a previous guest, and then I'll get back to what we were talking about now because it's very exciting. But Hertz ruined the Tesla thing by getting all those cars and then not teaching their employees how to use them, teaching the guests how to use them, and that's I think what ruined Hertz. But back to this, what we're talking about here, it's very exciting. There's actually a patent recently, I guess I can share it, that is going to be using a heat pump to all a heat pump does is move heat around. So it can, let's say you get in your RoboTaxi and you want a snack. Okay, well, do you want a cold snack or a hot snack? And with super efficient heat pump, you can get an ice cream down on one end, or you can get a hot pizza on the other end, and whatever you want. Let's say you want a Taco Bell, you can have a Taco Bell autonomous vehicle that comes and gets you, and you get your Taco Bell hot and you get your drinks cold. And yeah, I think heat pumps when it comes to
Man,
this robotaxi type of thing is going to be huge.
Alexander is ripping his hair off right now with us talking about food. And he said in the previous space, you guys have this incredible technology, and all you can think about is how it's going to make food easier for you with your burgers and tacos, and in Machine's case, chicken. Jessica, what's your quick response to the comments? And then we have other hands and a request to speak as well. What's your quick response?
Quick response, Sierra, yes, that is a great idea to hire to haul. I can't move my trailer. I don't own a Cybertruck and I'm stuck. So love that idea. And also in the Purple Pill, I actually CC'd Omar, but I have all of these ideas in terms of services and business opportunities that just stream of consciousness came to mind the other day. If anybody wants to take a look at them, those are just my thoughts. Thank you. I'll jump down. I appreciate this space.
Thank you. Uzi.
Yeah, I'm about to sound like Machine a little bit. I don't really see too much of a future for it, except for in a commercial sense. If there's a fleet owner that buys up the vans.
Dude, yeah. Machine is like complaining in YouTube live chats. Tisk for not adding me. I'm like, I added you. There was a technical glitch, I suppose. Why do you take it personally? Go ahead.
I mean, it's just very clear you're trying to keep the white man down after kicking me out before. And I'm back. You know, I noticed the number of likes to your YouTube channel has declined exponentially. And now you flatlined at 500. And I'm back to help.
We did flatline. We're at 510. Okay. If you want, Machine, can you give a 30-second elevator pitch to the people in X space to go to the top of their screens, click the YouTube link, and like the YouTube stream?
If you like to hear someone actually snap back at Gordon Johnson, then listen in to Tesla Live with Machine and his partners, Yaman and Omar. Please go to the top of your screen, click the Tesla Live YouTube video, and click the like button right now.
Yeah, I'm your partner only in your dreams, but not in reality.
Well,
but good pitch.
Fair.
We went from 508 to 511. You got us 3 likes.
To be fair, it wasn't You weren't my partner in my dream. In my dream, it was you and Omar together.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I had a dream I was
Neil.
Machine's mom's partner.
Okay. All right. Oh, I'm losing control. Machine.
No, I came up because, someone was talking about robo-taxis and permits and all this stuff. And I think people keep forgetting that Tesla, if they wanted to today, could deploy robo-taxis in many states. There are no regulations stopping them from doing it in many states. California is a different matter. So this whole idea that, oh, hold me back, it's like Elon Musk is being pretend held back by his bros so he doesn't get in a fight with Mark Zuckerberg. This whole fake, like, hold me back, if only these regulations weren't here, we'd have robo-taxis, is totally false. Okay, if the technology was good enough, they would have it today. And so it's very curious what they're doing, this event in California, the single place that has all these regulations. I don't know what's going to happen in this event, if they're going to have rides or not. They're definitely going to show off the vehicle. It seems like they're definitely going to do something with Optimus, but please don't act like it's the regulatory California and whoever else that's holding Tesla back.
We have a couple of questions in the YouTube live chat. King Tut asks, "What's the deal with Machine's mother?" And Luke says, "I'm waiting for the explanation too." We're not going to explain it. It's an inside joke. If you come in every day, you will get the hang of it. Let's go to Habib. Habib.
Hey, everybody. I have a question for the most knowledgeable speaker of this space, who also holds a PhD background, who is very well versed and very well spoken. Machine, if you could please just clarify something that you mentioned in yesterday's space about you referenced a paper, how it said that the end-to-end training cannot only be trained on simulation because it will inevitably encounter some errors, something like that. If you could just explain that again, why that can't be trained that way, please.
Of course, thank you for that great introduction. Appropriate introduction for myself. As a PhD from Ivy League education, I am the top speaker in this space. Let's make that very clear. What I was saying, and it's actually very hard to explain to other people in machine learning if they actually haven't dealt with real world data on multiple projects. Let me give you an extreme case. Let's say you're not playing with real world data at all. Let's say you're playing chess. You want to build a reinforcement learning, machine learning model to play chess. You can just have it learn on simulated games because the rules are very explicit. There are no deviations to the rules. Everything's within the confounds of how the game is described, and it can learn to do everything perfectly. But if you had chess in the real world, where you go into play in Central Park, New York, and you think you've learned to play chess from a computer game, and then the homeless person you're playing against attacks you with a metal pole in the middle of a move, your algorithm doesn't know what to do. Wait a second, I didn't learn that when I was playing online. I have no idea what to do in this situation. And the excuse would be like, whoa. The chess simulation knows how to cover every possible aspect of the game. And then you actually get hit in the mouth in the real world. And that's the quote from Mike Tyson that I'd like to apply here. It says, everything seems nice in simulation until you get punched in the mouth. Okay. And these people don't even realize they're about to get punched in the mouth. Okay. And you weren't ready for it.
So just a follow-up question to that, please.
Yeah, go ahead. That's Habib. Thank you. And Habib is one of the biggest supporters of the space for the last 2 years. Thank you, Habib.
Yeah, I'm actually an A+ supporter. My rating is A+.
You would be A+. You would be A+ if you did not own a Taycan. When you sell their Taycans, I will bring you up to A+. But for now, you're just an A.
I am the Warren Buffett of this space. Thank you. So, but seriously, a quick follow-up. I appreciate you explaining that, Machine. How many, or just your prediction when it comes to driving, though, what is the, there's edge cases and then there's getting hit in the head with a pole. So being hit in the head with a pole when you're playing chess, that's completely unrelated to chess. What kind of edge or how much what percentage of edge cases are we trying to look for that are the equivalent of being hit in the head with a pole?
Right. This is where it comes down to known knowns, known unknowns, and unknown unknowns in solving real world problems. And what simulation aims to solve is filling in the gaps of known unknowns, the area which, hey, we know we don't have enough data on these types of edge cases, say weird stop signs or weird intersections or lights, stoplights that have all weird shapes. We know that there are weird ones, so let's simulate them to make the algorithm better. And that's perfectly fine and very useful. So don't get me wrong, simulation is very useful. But then there are the unknown unknowns. These are the areas of edge cases which we don't generally come up with in our heads and only experience when we actually collect the data and realize, oh crap, that can happen. And those are the ones which you simply do not have the creativity or foresight to predict exactly that those sort of cases can happen. And so you really just have to wait and see until they actually do happen in the real world. And the problem with autonomous vehicles is that there's so many potential sparse cases. In order to learn an algorithm that can generalize across these cases, you need to see a certain quantity of them. And that just becomes hard in the real world. That's where two things are very useful. Simulation does help augment, but number two, you need to be able to collect a lot of miles. And that is simply where Tesla has the lead, just to get those possible weird, intricate cases that we wouldn't have thought of in our own minds.
All right, last statement. To follow up, last follow up, please. Would you
And then me.
agree with the statement that Tesla has solved basic 95%, if not more, confidence interval of autonomous driving, and now they're basically just searching for the edge cases?
I don't look at it as black and white. I mean, certainly they've solved the, if you want to say 95 or 99% of the conditions, then for sure I agree with that. If you want to say they're solely onto the edge cases, I'm not sure if they're that far, because I do believe they're aware right now of cases that they have plenty of data on. It's still not working perfectly. So I wouldn't say they're onto the full edge cases the way that I defined edge cases. To me, when they're on edge cases, it's okay, this thing's working perfectly on basically all the data we have available. We're waiting to see where does it start failing in ways we didn't expect. And I still think it's failing in some ways that they're aware of right now.
I'd like to make a comment, and I'll preface it with, unlike Machine, I have a master's degree from a state school. I use real words, real situations. I love the jokes. I love the use cases. And to get serious, I can't believe I'm the one to do this, but I think that these unknown knowns and known unknowns and things that we don't know that we wish we knew are important. And to me, the most glaring and obvious is how can a robotaxi survive in a hostile environment, right? When we talk about autonomy, we talk about these vehicles that are bringing you your food. These autonomous vehicles are shuffling resources to and fro. And if they stop for anyone that gets in front of them, they're basically sitting ducks. So I think the most difficult part of the use case, the most unknown knowns and known unknowns, might be the hostile environment. So I'd like to get anyone's opinion on that.
I have an opinion on this. I expect Elon Musk has been preparing for this moment. And tonight, in a live broadcast in Los Angeles, using Starlink, Elon Musk is going to show a shipment of new robotaxis arriving at the port in Gaza, where they will then autonomously move through the destruction and see if they can survive and collect all this real world edge case data neural net that you just so described as needed. I agree with you.
Well, if they do that, they might be ready for New York. That's good.
Let's go to 25 guns. 25 guns, you have to unmute yourself for us to hear you.
Yeah, hello. I was thinking about the RoboTaxi. So if you might have an intervention, you could connect remotely a much more powerful computer to solve the issue, because the computer in the car only has or uses only about 100 watts. So if you have an intervention, you could connect it to a much more powerful computer, and software with much more parameters to solve the problem. Do you think this is possible?
Let's go to Alexander. Alexander, what do you think?
That probably will work in Germany, where you can drive how fast you want. But I don't think you can send out like data and try to get an answer at no, that would kill people. That won't work.
You don't have time to do that. You need to act real quickly. You need to solve real quickly.
Yeah, but actually Waymo does it with people. So people connecting remotely to the car and solving the issue. And instead of using people, you could use a much more powerful computer.
Yeah, I understand. But Waymo, that's why we've been saying here for more than a year that Waymo is not scalable. That approach is not scalable. So you have to run the inference on the car. All right, Alexander, you had your hand up earlier for something else?
Yeah, but I totally forgot why.
All right, that's okay. We have Alejandro on the board. Alejandro, are you going to make it to tonight's watch party?
You can count on that for sure.
That's awesome. So we have a number of people that you see on the board right now. They're going to be at the watch party 2 hours before the main event. The main event starts at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Our watch party on YouTube is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. For 2 hours, we're going to pregame. We're going to continue this discussion. We're going to make a bingo cards with our guesses of what might be mentioned. And as the event happens, we're going to be in YouTube live chat, interacting, reacting with the highs and the lows and the surprises, with TSLA on there giving us his expertise, driving for Uber for the last 3 years. Sierra with her expertise, training XAI's Grok, and Alexander with his expertise on robotics as well. And Uzi is going to be there, Dallas is going to be there, and several other people will be there as speakers as well. So if you want to be part of this watch party, go up to the top of your screens, click the YouTube link, like and subscribe to the channel. And you can join us in YouTube live chat tonight for Tesla's biggest event yet. It's going to be amazing. I'm so looking forward to it. And I want to say a word of thank you again to our sponsors, Joa and Paymore. Thank you very much for making this possible, keeping the X Spaces free and open to everybody. And all the people who contributed today via Super Chats, Drew Soul, Jeffrey Jones, Tayo, Shalom Plex, Jake McCombs, The Real Zyrtec, William Ellingsworth, Robert Lopinto, Drew Soul for several times, Joey Veron, Drew Soul with his dozens and dozens of free memberships to our YouTube channel that's going to be distributed to those who are most engaged today, Rich Bira, Carlos, Steve, Chris, Flagship EV, and Jerusalem again. This has been an incredible episode. This is a record on all fronts for Tesla Live. We've had our best day ever and is yet to come. We're only halfway done. We're going to have a huge party tonight on YouTube. And I would appreciate it if everybody joined today. I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. Thank you very much, everybody. And I will chat with you in a few hours. Take care.